welcome to this episode of Reality Bonus. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the reality show, Happy Place Homestead, and we actually really love sharing that with you. So let us know in the comments what you think, and please share it if you liked it and enjoyed it. But we have a few things that we want to bring you up to date about because it's been a year since we filmed. So we just felt like that's what this show is. The reality bonus is to bring you up to date with things that you see on the show, to maybe press things out better and more full. So,
one thing you may not have realized, the diet isn't working. It's been a year and I'm still fat.
What diet? What diet are you talking about?
The diet that I was on last year when we filmed it.
It is working, actually, because you've been on a diet recently, and I think you've lost weight. So
thank you. Look, here's the thing. There was some accusations made in that first episode that I don't appreciate. I would like to call them falsehoods, probably outright like lies, and it rhymes with the word hoarder. Basically, there's a misunderstanding here at work. People think that because you love something and collect something, you're a hoarder. No, I'm a collector. Okay, it's called a library. You would call, with your definitions, you would call a library, hoarding books. Okay, yeah, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of hoarding books. Okay.
Well, the thing is, a library is used to lend. They're lending. There's a purpose to a library so that other people can enjoy them. You don't let other people even touch your books, honey.
I think that hoarding is not necessarily connected to you can't touch. Well, kind of it is. It kind of is. You can't actually. Look, I'm not afraid to say that I like books, and I feel like I have probably more books than some libraries. But I personally do not consider it to be hoarding, because in my understanding of hoarding, it's just complete chaos. There's usually cats involved. And lots of just garbage that's not thrown away. Now, do we have a cat? Yeah. Does the cat poop all over the place? Yeah. And do we have garbage everywhere? We do. Okay, so we are hoarders.
Not we. There's no we
but
here.
When it comes to the books, those are like, it's a collection.
I would maybe add to this an addiction, because
oh wow, now we're crossing the line.
I remember when we were first married. Actually, it was before we were married. He had this tiny little apartment that would eventually become our first little apartment. And he was staying there with a friend of ours, and he had a small bookshelf. We're talking like one shelf about this wide and as tall as a closet. It was fitting in the closet. And for the bachelor party, some of his friends said, hey, can you get some of his books? Because we want to play a joke on him for the bachelor party. And so I just went in and reached and got maybe 3 or 4 books out and gave it to his friends. No big deal. Like about a week later, he comes to me in a panic. I mean, a full-blown panic. Oh my gosh, there's a few books missing. Have you seen them? Where are they? Where's these books? I'm missing these books. He was going off. He was having such a fit. I finally just had to say, Chris, it's okay. It's okay. They're going to be okay. They're okay. Yeah, and I had to let him in a little bit on the joke because he was having a fit. And that was, how long we've been married? 28 years. So that's a long time ago, yeah. And he still has a problem.
But I have given away all my books before. Like, I once gave away all my books because I was afraid.
Not all of them, but a lot of them. Mm-hmm.
But then I realized it was a calling from the Lord, in case there ever came a time where, like, people are like, we don't want you to read. And but I would have all the books. Okay. Anyway, the long and the short of it, what's awesome is that if I have a topic I'm interested in and I'm thinking, I wonder if I have anything on it, I do. It's so good.
I have to say, there have been times in recent months that someone has suggested, oh, you should get this book. And I'll go to him and say, do you have this book? And he'll say, I think I might have that somewhere. Check in this general area, and guess what? I'll find it there. That is impressive, and I have to say that's pretty useful. So thanks, honey.
So yeah, I mean, so ultimately, I think what we're trying to say is if you have extra books that you don't want, you can send them to us, and you can find out more about my book collection on some of the YouTube videos, because we actually did a whole episode on, I did one on my obsession with journals. and then I did one. I think we did one on books because every few weeks I need to have Linda make a new bookshelf or let me have more space for bookshelves.
Yeah,
Because
listen to this. He wants Linda to make him more bookshelves.
let me rephrase this. I had a bookshelf. I had a nice bookshelf, but then you're like, it's not pretty enough. So I had to basically take down all the bookshelves and the books so that you could bring in like wood that you've stained. Let's.
If it's gonna be on the wall, it has to look good.
It did look good. It looked good before.
That's the thing with the homestead.
Because they had books on it. That's what makes it look good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like just even recently, I've said from the very beginning, I don't want our homestead to look like the Kilchers homestead. I don't want it to look like an episode of Hoarders. I want it to look nice. Yes, they do. Otto Kilcher's house. He's a hoarder.
Awesome.
He's a hoarder.
I do love that they have junk whenever they need it to build stuff.
Yes, but
I don't even throw away. I don't throw away bent nails.
He doesn't. That drives me crazy. I do, but I want the homestead to look nice. And so just the other day, we had a new shed. Maybe we'll show that to you in a little bit. We had a new shed delivered, and I went through and 2 days painted it, stained it, made it look good. But I want to put on like a window box. I want to decorate the outside with stars. It has to look good. If it's going to be on the homestead, it has to look good, and that includes bookshelves. Okay.
We're putting bookshelves in the new shed.
If you feel like you need to, look who's
out.
Can we see him? We're gonna get to that. Sebastian. We'll get to Sebastian in a minute. All right, so let's talk about another thing that was brought up on this episode, and that is the butt crack. Poor Travis. Travis, who not only filmed everything, but spent hours and hours and hours and months and months and months editing all the footage he got. And so much of it contained the epic butt crack.
What can I say? The public wants what the public wants.
You know, he said in that episode, it's just part of my back. I laugh whenever I hear that because he really believes that's true.
Look, it practically goes up to my shoulder blades. It's long.
That is not true.
Hey, but you know what? Hey, just put a belt on, or
it
doesn't work. I have a belt on now.
How many of you, with a show of comments underneath, how many of you can take your pants off without unbuttoning them? So no wonder a belt doesn't work. He has pants that are probably 3 sizes too big for him. So he literally can just pull them off without unbuttoning them. So what he needs is, if he's going to wear such huge pants, then he needs suspenders is what he needs.
Here's what I'm trying to say is that, look, I could wear suspenders. I could wear pants. I could wear a belt.
What are you looking at?
A belt with pants.
You're looking at the camera correctly, aren't you?
Oh, I don't know. I guess so. So look, all I'm simply saying is that it's a problem, okay? It's been a problem. Stop yelling at the goats. I'm trying to explain this. It has been a problem, and I have yet to find an ultimate solution. I've seen people, they're like, oh, let me just reach down and pick up that off the ground. No problem. Okay, can you hear those goats in the background? Do you hear them? They're like, we want to be on the show. We're the stars. Look, I see people, they reach down all the time. They pick up stuff, and their butt crack doesn't come out. I just think the way that
But I bet those people have to unbutton their pants to take them off. I bet.
I'm not judging someone based on whether they can button and unbutton their pants.
No, but you're saying that their butt crack doesn't show.
Here's what I'm saying. We knew that me sharing that part of my life with you would be just too great a gift. And so we asked Travis to blur it. Now, if you are wondering, why is most of the footage blurred? It's because
to spare you.
It's because you can ask Travis, but he's in counseling now. But the therapy is going to be ongoing for many years. But he painstakingly went through and for your sanity took care of that. So anyway,
you're welcome.
Yeah, you are welcome for that. It's an embarrassing thing. Partly, I think, well, what if I were skinny? And then I thought, why dream like that? Why pretend? There's got to be a solution. So, I mean, basically, I don't know if I'm ready for suspenders yet.
Smaller pants.
Listen, I already like need like some sort of like an Olympic, weightlifter to help me put the 2 sides of the pants together to button. You think, you could just take them off, but it doesn't work like that.
All right, we have one more big update that we want to show you next. Okay, the biggest part of the update that we want to give you is regarding Sebastian. On the first episode of the show, we showed you how we were reinforcing fencing because our goat Sebastian kept getting out. And the true tragedy is a year later,
Yeah.
he's still getting out. But not only is he getting out, he's bringing friends with him. So since then, we have now gotten a lot more animals. We have a total of 5 goats and 2 sheep. And the sheep are very loud. And so these guys, most of them, I mean, of all, we have how many? So 5 goats. Out of all 5 goats, only 2 get out. And one is Sebastian.
Every day.
Every single day. One is Sebastian and one is his new friend, Ella.
So really what's interesting is that we literally spent forever reinforcing the fence. But what you don't realize is that we have done that so many times since that filming, and he still gets out. I mean, it's almost an impossibility. Like, we have it where if they were to jump over it, they could potentially even, get stuck. I, I, it's flabbergasting. And so
we have multiple places where I've caught them. Literally, I had my camera, my phone out, and got pictures of them jumping over what they do is they push down on the weaker areas of the fence and climb over. And so they keep doing that. They keep finding a new spot, and then we go in and we reinforce it either with more posts or with thicker wire. And then they'll find a different area. And so I know exactly where they're getting out. I'll have to show it to you, but I know exactly where they're getting out. But we just got to find thick enough wire that we can keep them. We've even put like little Joe has put like sticks facing towards them to try to detour them from getting up against the fence. But
like we're trying to defend ourselves from White Walkers or something.
Yeah, that's it. He doesn't make them pointy.
The thing ultimately is that we know we're not alone. Linda just posted recently on Facebook, the Happy Place Homestead page, this video of like real farmers who are professional, have huge productions and probably even a staff, and their goat was out. So I mean,
it was an actual professional farm that had a pumpkin festival going on. They have, it is a professional farm. And they had a petting zoo, and you look out, and there was a goat in the pumpkin patch.
Well, I even remember when we were younger at that flea market in, I don't know if it was Florida or if it was in Ohio, but the Amish guy was running after his goat that was booking
Oh,
it.
I remember that. Yes.
There's just something
Way
about
before
goats.
we had animals. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
They're like they are indeed escape artists, but we don't have any problem with any others except Sebastian and Ella.
The other day.
Or Emma, whatever that thing's name.
One thing, we got sheep for a couple reasons, but one was because we wanted to be able to clear the grass more. We have spots that need to have some clearing better, and sheep just do that so much better than goats.
With the grass.
Yep. But the other thing that was nice about sheep is that they don't climb. They don't climb over fences and all of that. They just don't do that kind of thing. They're loud. They're super loud.
But if you've ever seen like cartoons where there's sheep and they're like jumping and then they jump
running
over for a sleep, you know. But they kind of, when they run, it's really kind of cute. They're like,
boing,
they
boing,
hop,
boing,
boing, boing.
Yeah. But the other day, I was out going to feed them, and I walk up to the fence to greet them every morning, and the sheep put their feet up onto the fence. And I thought, what the heck? They're learning bad habits from the goats. The thing is, our goats are all dwarf. They're all small Nigerian dwarfs, whatever, and they will not get bigger than they already are. But the sheep we have now are babies. They're only not even 6 months old, probably, and they will get much bigger, probably twice the size they are. And if they learn how to climb a fence, we are in trouble.
Well, they do. In the cartoons, they jump over fences.
Not this big of a fence, though.
No, let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Look, ultimately, when it's said and done, it's kind of nice because these goats, even though they escape every day, stay in the area. They're not going anywhere. But it's just been one of those things, especially with winter approaching. We want to make sure that they're in their pen, and what's funny about that too is that like ultimately our heart is not to keep them in confinement. We just want to have them protected from the possibility of predators. I mean, it's hunting season right now, so the reality is, some ding dong could be going by and see one of our goats out and think I'm gonna, get a good sized goat. Look at the antlers. But
Right, right, yeah. And we also have worked hard at making them happy where they are. We've built them some parkour this year, and we love
yeah,
seeing them climb up on it. And but it's set far enough away from the fence that they can't jump. Someone thought for sure that was the case, but I thought they really needed to have wings if they're going to get off the parkour onto the other side. So really, it's the basic, simple. They push the fence down and climb over.
yeah.
That's how they're getting out, and that's what we need to stop.
But the weird thing is too, we have this little pot-bellied pig, so it's potentially problematic on both sides. You have the goats that'll try to push down and jump over,
That's true.
and then you have this pig that's trying to root under and make a break for it. And so, at any given moment, I feel like we're struggling with some animals who are trying to get out. Whereas on the other hand, we have a dog that you can open the door for him to go to the bathroom outside, and he doesn't want to go, and we'll just wait till you leave so he can drop one on the floor. So. Anyway, we love our animals. Hey, everybody, thanks so much for watching the Happy Place Homestead show because honestly, so many have asked for it, and we're hoping that we're being a blessing and that you guys are having fun. If there's anything you want to see or you want us to focus on, go ahead and send us a note. We'd love to do a lot more of these, so keep your eye peeled. We're going to hopefully begin to start filming for a full season. It would be called season 2, but this is limited episodes. We have about 8 episodes, anywhere from, I don't know, 7 to 30 minutes. And we want to do something that would be a lot more involved. And so we want you to let us know, what would you be interested in? What would you like to see us focus on more? Because I always felt that way when we would watch certain reality shows, like, oh my gosh, I wish they would
Yeah.
focus so much
Show us
more
more of
on
this.
that,
Right. Right.
But
But
anyway,
also the other thing I wanted to say, I was going to say that on this last episode, episode 1, they touched base a little bit about my construction skills. So nice.
yeah,
But
legit.
if you're interested in seeing any more of the projects that we've done, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Happy Place Homestead. The quality videos are very homemade,
They're pretty good.
but they have good stuff in
Yeah.
there. And so if you want to see any of the more progress, there's so much progress done on the property in the last year, so much done inside the house. Go check those videos out, subscribe, share away. We need our circle enlarged, and you're going to help us do that, and we
Yep.
appreciate it. So tune in next Friday for episode 2 of the show, and then on next Saturday will be episode 2 of this reality bonus, where we will extend the information of what you see on that episode. So thanks for watching. Tune back.
And after episode 2 will be episode 3.
Take care.